A supermodel at 96, how Daphne Selfe makes waves in the fashion industry and tears age and beauty standards apart. People. 2 years ago. When it comes to the very term, the modeling business, we can imagine young nymphs gracing the catwalk and popular magazine covers. And it's no wonder, as the typical age limit for models in most modeling agencies is 16 to 21 years old, and the more youthful image the model can create, the better it is for the agency. Supermodel Daphne Selfe, 96, who is the longest-lasting supermodel in the world, can argue with all age standards imposed by the beauty industry, proving that age means only more elegance and charm. Daphne Selfe's career started a long time ago and was inspired by British royalty. The world's oldest professional model, Daphne Selfe, who turned 96 this year, says she doesn't do retiring. British by origin, this lady has clocked up over 70 years of modeling experience. She has worked for many famous brands among the likes of Dolce & Gabbana, posed for various artists, appeared on TV, and even wrote a memoir. One of the most darling events in her life was being included in the Queen's New Year Honours list. And she even possesses a British Empire medal. Her style icon is the Queen, and in one of her interviews she said, "I suppose in a way we always looked up to royalty. The young Queen, of course, was gorgeous. They all lived such glamorous lives, or so we thought. Whereas now, people don't want to dress up anymore, which I think is such a pity because I love dressing up." The model has been into fashion and beauty for as long as she can remember. The fashion world discovered Selfe in 1949 when she was just 21. She recalls this moment. "I was working at a store in Reading, west of London, and they had a competition, a fashion show. All the girls were going for it, and the prize was to be on the cover of the Reading and Berkshire Review. I won." The modeling world itself was so different back then. Today, many models represent personal brands worth millions and have agents who negotiate what kind of work they will or won't do. However, Selfe started her career in a totally different world, and as she depicted in her interview, modeling then was nothing like it is now. Color photography was just coming in. We didn't have a London Fashion Week. That's only been in the last 25 years. Our main catwalks were in the big stores in London, Northampton, and Bournemouth. Only 1 or 2 girls ever went to Paris. People wouldn't ever have heard of anybody who was a model. At 96, the model is still full of vigor and has a fire-like temperament. Being an active person throughout her life, the woman is still full of energy. She no longer drives, but happily travels to different places on the train from her home in Baldock, Hertfordshire. She has 3 children who are all in their 50s and 60s, and also is blessed with 4 grandchildren who are in their 20s. She is widowed but goes on dates occasionally and meets new people in the theater or other places. She has good health, though the vasculitis in her feet doesn't allow her to wear heels anymore. And she's undeniably, obviously beautiful, which is the reason why, at the age of 70, she became the grandmother of all fashion comebacks and showed herself to the world as a stereotype-breaking supermodel for the new millennium. Selfe has become a symbol of a new epoch in modeling. Daphne keeps rocking the fashion world, and her appearance is a symbol of the power of older women in fashion, the start of a special epoch, which the media now calls the Grey-nascence. She has some powerful advice for all models starting out, but it turns out to be universal for all women on Earth. She says, "Taking care of your health is the most important thing because modeling is hard work if you do it properly. It's long hours, lots of hanging about, lots of physical activity, and also you need a good work ethic. In other words, that means be on time, don't mess about once you're there, and stay off your phone." She adds some details about her current lifestyle, explaining, "I do a series of exercises most days, something along the lines of yoga, ballet, a little bit of weights, but also static bicycle. Of course I can't do everything every day, but I do always do some stretching." What about Daphne Selfe impressed and inspired you the most? Do you have a role model whose energy and vigor for life makes you follow them? Let's take a look at his life. There is a certain stereotype that only young girls can work as photo models. However, the world knows many representatives of the fair sex who are incredibly in demand in the profession even after 70 years. Older models with a young soul are not uncommon, and the example of Daphne Selfe, who has preserved her appearance at 96, makes many women imitate the graceful and natural superstar, who outshines young models with her charm. The beginning of a career. Successful Daphne Selfe, who will be discussed today, was born in the city of Reading in Britain. The pretty brunette with luxurious hair did not even think about a career as a model, but after winning a local beauty contest, the life of an ordinary department store saleswoman changed dramatically. The 20-year-old girl with classic facial features was noticed and invited to work on the podium. Non-standard figure. At that time there were no clear standards of beauty, but weighing 63 kilograms and being 1 meter 70 centimeters tall, Daphne was not a model of slenderness and fragility. But advertisers never asked her to lose weight, because her parameters were considered almost ideal. As the star herself laughs, with such a figure she would not have been allowed anywhere near the modern modeling business. As I got older I lost weight, and my cheekbones finally became visible, Daphne Selfe says with a smile. In her youth in the 50s, the pretty beauty with Irish roots, who never dreamed of world fame, had plenty of work, although she did not consider herself in demand. From model to housewife. It must be said that the successful model did not sacrifice her life for her profession, but married successfully and gave birth to 3 children. Having become a housewife, she always attended fashion shows, but did not think of returning to the catwalk. Daphne, whose figure remained as slender as in her youth, was repeatedly invited to sign contracts, but the children demanded attention to themselves, and the woman refused lucrative offers. The model preferred quiet family happiness to the flashes of cameras, and besides, she admitted that she could not stand out from the huge number of beauties. The delightful Daphne Selfe, whose photos have been published in the most famous publications for many years, often sighs about the years when her career began, saying that all the models were innocent, and the clothes were incredibly cute. For many years, no one remembered her, and the woman who devoted herself to her husband and children was not burdened by the lack of work. A new career arc after 40 years. It is all the more surprising that in 1998, the model's former agent contacted her and offered to take part in London Fashion Week. The charming lady with grey hair and a lively sparkle in her bright blue eyes was noticed by a major modeling agency and offered a job. The start was the appearance of the grey-haired beauty with delicate features on the cover of Vogue. From that moment on, a new career arc began, and the name of the elderly catwalk veteran, who became the face of the fashionable granny chic style, thundered throughout the world. Positive and healthy eating. Daphne Selfe is a model who is photographed much more now than in her younger years. Earning about £1,600 a day, she openly states that she has not had a single plastic surgery. The woman walks a lot, does yoga, adheres to a healthy diet, and is not carried away by cosmetics in her everyday life. The superstar finds positive moments in everything and tries to make her life happier. Photographers note Daphne's cheerful disposition, optimism and sharp mind. Her main motto is to not lose her positive attitude and curiosity. Refusal of plastic surgery. The audience is amazed by the appearance of the most experienced model in the world. "I don't do anything to my face, there is no lifting or Botox in it," Daphne Selfe assures everyone. She gets angry when she hears other women talking about removing wrinkles and pigmentation. The model, who does not hide age-related changes, proves from her own experience that a woman is beautiful at 70 and at 96. Posing for the most famous fashion magazines and brands, she does not dye her long gray hair, considering it the main highlight. The grandmother of 4 grandchildren is not embarrassed by her age and thanks her parents for the excellent genes in every interview. Any girl can envy her beautiful parameters. Individual style. Daphne Selfe has tried on many outfits of various styles during her modeling career and developed her own individual style, which she called chic funk. She does not hide the fact that in her youth she was not as elegant as she is now. Only with age does a sense of style appear. Success is in wrinkles and gray hair. Daphne Selfe, who daily proves that age is no obstacle to real success, which is hidden in gray hair, an elegant figure and good genes, advertises youth clothing, and the rebel Vivienne Westwood invites her to close her show with a wedding dress. The great-looking model, who wears high heels and short skirts, has never heard reproaches about the inappropriateness of such clothes. She is glad that she does not feel infringed on her rights due to her old age. Aging supermodel. Daphne Selfe, who considered herself a mediocre model in her youth, now signs contracts not only with clothing brands, but also with cosmetic companies that want to attract older women to their products. The world celebrity and unusual model helps older ladies who worry about wrinkles to understand that their fears are imposed by society. She calls on people not to give up on themselves when obvious signs of aging appear, and not to voluntarily go under the surgeon's knife. However, some doctors who are skeptical about Selfe's appearance are not inclined to trust her. They express their professional opinion that if there are no visible signs of surgery on the body and face, this only speaks of the high level of the plastic surgeon. Be that as it may, the older model, who does not look like an ancient old woman, is provided with work for several decades to come. Born on July 1, 1928, in England, Daphne Selfe is considered one of the world's longest-serving supermodels. She began her modeling career in 1949 and has worked with renowned photographers such as Mario Testino, Nick Knight, and David Bailey. During her extensive career, she has modeled for brands such as Dolce & Gabbana, Red or Dead, and TK Maxx. In 2016, she published her autobiography, The Way We Wore, which detailed her experiences in the fashion industry. In 2018, she partnered with Ico to promote their bespoke mascara. Estimates of Daphne Selfe's net worth vary among sources. Some reports suggest a range between $100,000 and $1 million, while others estimate it to be around $5 million. It is important to note that these figures are estimated, and exact details about her financial situation have not been publicly revealed. That's all in today's video. If you like the video, then please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.